sharing. Durian的香。
The Durian Heat, bringing big ideas and critical opinions in Southeast Asia.
Hey, this is Arlene.
Hi, this is Gowri.
And of course, you are with us on our discussion. This time we will discuss about the green market. Do you know anything about the green market, Gowri?
Very briefly, but I think we also have someone here to explain further about it. And that is, of course, Yasmin, who is the chairperson and founder of EcoKnights. Hello.
Hey, hi.
Thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having me again.
So, we all know EcoKnights because of your annual Eco Film Festival. But you also have a very interesting side event. It's called the Green Market. But before we go or we dwell deeper into the Green Market within the Eco Film Festival, maybe a bit of introduction, what exactly it is, why it has become such a global movement.
The Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Fest
and the Green Market.
I think there has been a rise or a gradual rise in awareness and knowledge among consumers on the kind of things that they purchase or things that they consume, and I guess there's also more information out there for consumers to know more about where do their products come from, how are they made, was it sourced ethically or was it sourced sustainably. At the end of the day, I guess the focus is on how people right now are trying to make a conscious choice when they purchase something. It's not just about the value of the product, but they want to know that the product did not hurt anyone, had not violated any labor rights, had not violated any environmental rights. So this whole concept of a green market is gradually growing. Of course, it's growing more exponentially probably in other countries, but in Malaysia, we're not too late. We're taking baby steps, but small steps nevertheless, to raise this awareness for consumers to start thinking about purchasing responsibly.
I know in Kuala Lumpur there's this place in Bangsa where they have like a weekend green market, and it's quite interesting seeing small vendors selling products that they just sell it directly to consumer rather than having a middle person or the shopping center for you to purchase. So is the whole concept of green market is supposed to cut as much as possible the middleman and have the goods and services directly being shared or given to consumer.
Yeah, I think maybe about 5 years ago, you see that most of purchases made by individuals on green products, organic food and so forth, you would still go to a supermarket. And it's not that cheap, 25 to 35% price increase. And of course, like for me, price was a big factor. But if you look at these products you buy, you can actually identify where it comes from. And I think over the years, I'm not the only one. I think many people are going straight to the source to get this produce, especially if it's food related, directly from this. And I think the economics has tilted a little bit. More people are demanding such produce. More people know where to get the produce, most of the time directly from the supplier or grower. And this has proliferated into what you now call a green market, where people get together. And if you look at this is a really good example of how just looking at the green concept of shopping can revitalize the local economy. And even if you go to Facebook nowadays, there are a lot of organic online Facebook groups. There's one I think is called TMZ or Organic, where you pay 120 ringgit a month. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get, but you get a box delivered straight to your home of fresh produce from the farm. So some days it'd be 2 eggs, a couple of okra, some lemons and so forth. And you know they're organic. You can just see from the shape of it. And it's like opening a surprise package every day and wondering what's fresh from the farm that's arrived in your house. And so this growing conscientious about being more careful about what you eat and being smarter in purchasing healthier stuff for your life. So I foresee the green market would be something. I mean, right now it's a special feature here and there, but like you said, in Bangsa, at some point it will be a permanent feature in many communities.
What are some of the benefits to actually of going directly to the farmers and purchasing the produce?
I think number one is definitely price. You minimize the whole logistics, transportation, and storage in the supermarket. So you go directly to the source. Number two, I think it's also, as a consumer, you want to have faith or trust that the produce comes from a reliable source. And by going directly to the supplier or to the grower, to the farmer, you have a sense of relief that you trust where your food is coming from. And also, in this case, as a consumer, you also have access to give direct feedback to the people you buy from, so that they can also improve. Maybe more lemons, or maybe more of this kind of vegetables. So you can't talk to a middleman that way. You can't go to a shopping mall and tell the manager that, and it's just too many steps. So this, I hope, would be a small revolution in its own, to get Malaysians to be more in tune with what they're purchasing in their daily lives.
You mentioned spurring local economy. So do you see that a lot of homegrown businesses spurring, or spreading out because of the green market?
Yes. One of the biggest is the Malaysian Organic Farmers Association, which has been around for the longest time. And if you can pick up their annual directory, and you can see nationally how much the organic produce industry has grown. There's one we know that will be participating in the Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Fest Green Market is Zenzin Organic. They're in Johor, and we've met them many times in their premise and as well in exhibitions, and you can really see people going to their shops in droves, to look at what kind of you want to get carrots, or you want to grow your own organic meals and so forth. So I think there's a rise in being aware about healthy living, healthy food, healthy lifestyle. Again, for those who cannot afford to purchase organic food or healthy food all the time, there's also a growing concept nowadays where the edible and community gardens are now flourishing as well. So like just in our backyard in Taman Tun, you can see communities, there's curry leaf, there's banana trees and papaya trees, and when it's dengue season, you can see all the papaya leaves being very well utilized. And it helps, you have these community gardens here and there, and it becomes a really interesting place to just, bringing back nature into your home as well, with these kind of gardens.
Could it be more expensive than if you purchase it from a shopping mall? Because we know that in economics of scale, the more things are being sold in bulks, the cheaper it is.
Probably not, because most middle to small time growers probably are limited in what they can grow and how much they can produce. So it's like having a little garden at the back of your house and just selling whatever you have. And then the bigger ones with bigger farms are probably able to give you cheaper prices because they produce more. So it's really up to, the consumer to make that choice. And how much does the consumer know about the producer of the food? But for me, like I said, from a personal perspective, I find it expensive to go completely organic. But I do know there are some things we eat more regularly at home for my kids especially, like they absolutely love carrots and broccoli. So I know to focus on buying these two that are more organic than the rest. So you gotta do the dollar and cent calculation in your head and see what makes sense at the end of the day. The fact of the matter is, food is not getting any cheaper.
That's true.
And that's one reason to also start growing your own vegetables.
Exactly. We definitely are advocating for it, and we are very happy to know that in Malaysia there are many small startups, enterprises that are slowly moving towards merging technology and home urban farming. So these two topics are going to be very hot coming soon, where but of course we need to empower people to think that anyone is basically a farmer. But historically we're farmers.
But how can you plant something when you're living in a condominium? Or
there are many ways. There's aquaponics, there's vertical farming, and if I know a friend, Daphne Eiking, and she has asked permission from her condominium manager to look at giving her some space to explore on the rooftop of her condominium. You don't ask, then you never know what is out there for you. But what's more important is that will and drive that you want to start something, to grow something. So I believe it's very, very possible. And I've seen some homes in condominiums where the entire fourth floor or outside of the fourth floor, and I don't know how they got their neighbors around this, is just, edible plants all the way. And in Taman Tun, we just recently took a picture. It was so hilarious because this house clearly cemented every inch of the compound. But they actually built a metal wall and hung there, the half cuts of your detergent bottles and all that, and started planting vegetables.
Oh, that's interesting.
So you can see in how this idea of starting to grow your own food is slowly becoming popular.
Maybe you can explain more about the different types of gardening that you were mentioning, about the vertical gardening and how it's done in condominiums.
Vertical gardening is quite easy. Basically, instead of growing on a bed or horizontal on your apartment or balcony floor, is to raise the bedding for it. And normally, I don't think you can plant too much. Maybe you can use a combination of old buntings, or you can use a combination of plastic mineral water bottles. You can actually grow cabbages out of it. You see this very commonly in Publica and Ben's shopping area. All you really need is really good irrigation system so that water can travel through it, and voila, you can start plucking lettuces or salads or cabbages.
Amazing.
Yep. And these vegetables grow very fast, so every 3 weeks you can harvest something. The way that we do it in our office, and because we also have the space under our porch, is aquaponics. So we rear sunhawk and tilapia in a pond, and the water from the fish is pumped up to a grow bed on top. And right now we have amaranth, which is the red bayam, growing there. I can take some pictures for you later. We have harvested kailan and so forth, for personal consumption in the office. We cook up a storm and lunch with our colleagues and all.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, we're now waiting for the fish to grow big. Sunhawk is a very expensive fish.
Okay.
So we bought a little fish fry about a month or two ago, and we just, obviously it's for personal office consumption, we can't wait to grill the fish and all that, but it's also trying to demonstrate even among our employees that there are very simple ways to look at simple home production systems. We're not looking at, of course, supplying or selling the fish. Although, looking at the size of a system, because ours is quite huge, it's about 8 feet long, we could actually sell some of our produce out, but we'd rather have it for personal consumption.
We'll take one short break. When we return, we'll discuss more about green markets.
The Durian Heat, bringing big ideas and critical opinions in Southeast Asia.
Hey, this is Arlene.
Hi, this is Gowri.
You're back with us again on the discussion regarding on green market. So, Yasmin, I want to ask you about one area that is dividing globally on the issue of GMO. I think one of the reasons why people revert back to organic farming and green market and going back to natural sources is people are skeptical about industrial scale farming, especially in the inculcation of GMO to the seeds of this produce. But what's your thought on this?
Well, number one, I really wish, as a person that's responsible for feeding my family at home, one is proper labeling. Yes, no doubt, we can't pinpoint the exact health impact of a GMO produce, but as a consumer, and if I have a little bit of doubts about it, I feel like I need to know what I'm purchasing. So that is something that I hope the Malaysian government will look into, proper labeling of foods. Not just whether it's GMO or not, but also telling me if it's organic, where is the farm coming, where is the farm base, so that I can do my due diligence and check whether is this farm really as organic as I think it is. Because relying on a trustworthy food source to some people and to a lot of people, I think, is very, very important. You want to know what you're eating, and you want to know the source.
And I think there's also a group of people who are actually for GMO, and there's also a group against GMO. And what is the difference really? Is GMO bad, or is there some benefits to it?
Well, I think historically GMO was designed to be pest resistant, because when you talk about a small farm and you've got an infestation, obviously your losses are not as much as an industrial farm. And for an industrial farm who's invested in machines and land and crops and water for irrigation and so forth, any incident of a pest infestation is very, very costly. So GMO came about as a way to reduce using pesticides, because the growing environmental movement was putting pressure on these farms to reduce pesticide, DDT and so forth. This was probably in the 60s and 70s. And by then, I think from Rachel Carlson's book Silent Spring in 1963, she has correlated with the amount of pesticide used in agriculture to hurting wildlife.
Okay.
So ever since her books were published, and there was a growing awareness on toxic chemicals on wildlife, big farmers were trying to reduce using pesticides. So as a result, they spent a lot on scientists to come up with a pest-resistant strain of crops. So corn was very popular. Corn can be used for oil, can be used for all sorts, cornstarch and so forth. And as soon as that technology came into existence, biotechnology evolves very fast. I think GMO was quickly applied in other crops as well. Who wouldn't want a crop that would be absolutely shielded against any insect or bacteria?
And you also mentioned about how it's visually more pleasing.
They look more pleasing. And I remember reading about this experiment they did. So you have a GMO corn and an organic corn.
Yeah.
You leave it out in the open. The organic corn will get eaten first. So even the flies and the locusts and the grasshoppers prefer the organic kind, because they know they can, it's healthier and
because beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
Maybe it's on the inside.
Yeah. So and I guess consumers' taste for buying things that look pleasant has driven us to use science, to use biotechnology to manipulate the genes of food products.
But is it ethically wrong to do that?
There are two debates, Bernie. If you're talking about dealing with a food crisis, people not having enough to eat,
especially discussion on food security lately in the 21st
then you
century.
can argue that GMO maybe increases yield, reduces spoilage of the food, and gets to the people faster. Where else, non-GMO food may take a while longer. You probably have to deal with more resistance or attacks from pests. So there's two thoughts that. Of course, I'm still advocating for grow your own food lah.
What about in the context of Malaysia, at the state that we are in right now? Do we need GMO?
And according to one news report, that majority of our food in the supermarkets are GMO produced.
Yeah, I think we've been consuming GMO products for the last 10, 20 years already. Corn is one. Soya is another one that is very, very, very common. So watch out for your soya milk and soya bean drinks.
As consumer, I mean, do you feel? I mean, do we have the right to know, like, whether our produce are directly from the farmers, as in like organically farm, or is it from a large scale farming that inculcate GMO seeds?
I think we have the right to know. I think we have the right to choose what we want to eat. We have the right to decide how we want to run our lives, in terms of our personal health. So this process of food labeling is very critical, and needs to be raised up a little bit more. But at the same time, consumers also need to be more educated. So you've seen a growing number of farmers market. There's also a annual Hari Organic or Organic Day that is done by an NGO, SETDEM, and supported by the local authority, and that attracts thousands and thousands of people. You'll be surprised how, if given an opportunity or platform, people will flock in droves to learn about purchasing organic healthy food, or at least learning how to grow their own. So I think it's on the rise in this country.
So let's get back to green market. So what do you sell actually in the green market for the Eco Film Fest?
Well, the overall theme of why we injected the concept of the green market in this year's Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Fest is to promote sustainable production and consumption. 90% of the exhibitors and vendors that are coming in exhibiting and having booths are local companies, and for us, we feel it's very important to promote the local guys, the local startups,
the homegrown industries.
Yeah. I mean, if we don't support them, how are they going to grow? And if we want them to grow, we have to establish at least a basic ecosystem for them to start off with. So this year we have 3 components to the green market. One component is the NGO market. So they don't necessarily sell food or produce, but they sell services and causes. And in the last 8 years, we've been struggling to get NGOs to be on board. But this year, we were quite amazed. Like, we opened up the green market application for about 3 weeks, and we had to close it early because it was application was
overwhelming.
Overwhelming.
Oh, wow.
And this year we had a record number of NGOs coming in, and I'm talking about NGOs that probably don't have any reason to be in Semenanjung, but they're coming from Sarawak, from Sabah, especially indigenous groups, indigenous communities who are very interested to tell the urban KL crowd what's happening outside Klang Valley in terms of what NGOs are
we
doing.
tend to live in a bubble. I think it's great to have NGO outside of Kuala Lumpur or Klang Valley to create the awareness.
Yeah, and we have a very good partner, Tanah Merah, who has taken up to sponsor the entire NGO segment, because and there are some costs involved in being in the green market, but because most of these NGOs have amazing efforts, we got a brand to come in and sponsor the whole space for them. And then there's another component of the green market, which is outdoor. That's the food and beverage component. The reason it's outdoor is because you will be seeing people selling fresh vegetables from your farm, fruits, and also promoting healthy, sustainable, organic recipes and meals. And then the third part of the green market at the festival is featuring 34 green startups, and these are people like from Pop Tiny Asia was mentioning, who are promoting urban farming, to communities that are promoting candle making from used cooking oil and so forth. So these are really small entities which has huge potential to grow, and many of them are run by very young Malaysians. So you see an uprise in a more conscientious, younger population that is aware on sustainability. So we hope Green Market would be driving people. It's not just for you to shop. I mean, obviously shopping is the main thing that you catch people's attention, but it's also to have conversations with these people and understand where they're coming from. And I think that's where you have the point of engagement and knowledge with these local green entrepreneurs in this country.
That's very, very interesting. I can't wait.
I can't wait to bring your own shopping bags, please.
Yes, I'm curious to know, because even speaking about GMO earlier, it seems not a lot of Malaysians are aware, because you said we've been consuming this for at least 10 or 20 years, and even that goes unnoticed. So how would you incorporate this whole idea of green market to get people to switch? Maybe someone who is ignorant about it, or somebody who's totally new to these concepts. How would you convince them that green market is the way to go, and that they should also be aware of what they buy at the supermarkets?
Well, we're gonna start a communication campaign probably sometime August or September, where we're gonna get all the partners that are in the green market to actually come up and speak to either during ASEAN or even to on just social media platforms, to have their voice being heard and tell their kind of stories to consumers. Because I mean, there's so many kind of mindsets out there when it comes to a consumer, and out of 10 products you see out there, one probably appeals the most to you. So we really need these green entrepreneurs to also step up or rise up to the game, and we need to work closely with them to look at how do they best communicate to their potential clients or customers, and how to promote their effort and products. So that's definitely, I guess, the easiest way to go about it, to not just tell people you have to buy green, but tell the green sellers that you also need to know a better way to promote what you're doing. Or else, if everyone just sit quietly and just tell this is good for you, charge you a bit more, I mean, where is the point of engagement there? So we hope that the green market, it's not just people coming to sell things, but we hope we can also have opportunities to educate them on what the market is like, what consumers are looking for, so that we can help them, like I said earlier on, build this ecosystem where we can help them increase the demand. And if the demand increases, that theoretically you are able to perhaps make more and hopefully revitalize their own personal economic gain.
So we'll take another one short break. When we return, we will speak with EcoKnights on the green market.
The Durian Heat, bringing big ideas and critical opinions in Southeast Asia.
Hey, this is Arlene.
Hi, this is Gowri.
You're back with us again, and of course with Yasmin from EcoKnights. Talking about green market, earlier on we shared a lot of tips and information on from GMO to farmers market to cutting the middleman to why it's beneficial to the local community and local economy. So coming back to the Eco Film Festival and the green market, perhaps you can share with us more about what people can expect on that day itself.
Well, for people who are heading to the green market for the first time, I think it's a lot. It will definitely excite your five senses, because we've managed to pull together a group of local green entrepreneurs or startups that have everything from fashion to offer, right up to food and drinks, and as well as consumer products. For instance, I know this company Lavender is going to be promoting a fully biodegradable laptop holder, or the stuff that you put on your lap for your laptop. They've got a product like that, but this whole thing is completely biodegradable if you don't want it. So a lot of innovative products that will be put on exhibition and display. And I really hope that Malaysians from all walks of life will come and ignite their senses, especially bring your children to come and learn about what are the kind of sustainable products and services that Malaysia can offer.
And besides Bangsa, what other places that are promoting or actually providing a platform for these green farmers that people can go if they want to start getting involved?
I know for sure there's the Organic Day, which is normally in May or June, and then there should be another one happening in September, October. That's done quite big scale with the support of the local authority, MPBJ, and I believe the last one was held in Bangsa as well, in a community hall. And I think that was the right location where it's walking distance to homes and houses, and all sorts of producers, organic producers from all around Malaysia get together and start selling their produce at very cheap prices to consumers as well. So our green market is not the first one. Of course, our green market focuses beyond just raw produce. We even have sustainable fashion, clothing made from plastics, artwork and so forth. So, but what we hope is to be a catalyst to get more people thinking about shopping at the green market. We hope to be able to contribute to an ecosystem where we can help raise more conscientious entrepreneurs who are selling sustainable goods and services for a better future at the end of the day.
And all this will be happening in Publica?
Yes, Publica, October 17th,
at the
18th.
Front.
We will be everywhere in the mall.
Everywhere in the mall.
Okay.
So as soon as you walk in the mall, you would see all the small green businesses and the NGOs, and outside at the square would be where all the food and beverages and food produce would be on display. So we highly encourage people to come and spend a couple hours with us, enjoy a tour of the green market, get to know your local companies that are doing amazing job. They need your support. They need you to be aware of their presence as well. And most importantly, a shout out to Malaysians to come and support our 100% grassroots organizations.
And when is this happening?
It's October 17th to 18th, a Saturday and Sunday. It starts from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We encourage you to bring your own shopping bags and containers, because none of them will be giving up plastic. It would be nice if you can bring your own food container and your cups as well. I believe there'll be some discounts if you are able to bring your own containers to purchase your own food, and all in the good fun of trying to inculcate a more sustainable mindset among the Malaysians that attend the festival. Yeah.
So what is your hope for the future of green market in Malaysia?
I hope that shopping malls would use like or invest in the idea of a green market, a regular green market in your shopping malls. I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at how the Malaysian culture is, we're pretty much a mall culture. If we can incorporate a segment there where it's about local products, local produce, and maybe not charge expensive rent to support the local economy, I think we need to start with that first. Number two is also, I hope for those who are listening to spend maybe an extra 15 minutes a week just going on the internet to find out how you can get healthier food options from farms nearby. Oftentimes it's not that difficult to obtain. We probably think it's a pain, to search for it, but actually I think in every pockets of community there's always someone who's growing their food and looking for a buyer. So my urge is for Malaysians to be more aware of these areas.
That's a very good idea for shopping malls to inculcate a portion of their space for green markets or farmers market. They can do it every weekends or maybe every day. They can just rent out that space for
but the mall also
homegrown
need
businesses.
to promote it very well. I think in my neighborhood in Bandar Utama, we had a farmers market that was happening every Sunday once a month, and then it kind of died down because things like that you really need to communicate well as well. I pity the farmers that didn't close any sale and all that. So it's not just about giving space to people, it's also about helping them grow their economy. Farming is not meant for poor people to do. Farming is actually a very lucrative industry if you do it right. And imagine if all of us are capable of farming something in our own backyard. It's a revolution. It's an agricultural revolution right in your face. So at the end of the day, I'm not surprised that in the future and in time of crisis, trading food produce will be something we have to resort to.
Wow. So anyway, thank you very much. That's very revolutionary for you to say that. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and view with us.
And we'll see you at class this year.
We're class kids.